Hello, I am Michelle,
And I'm Natalie.
and we are Force of Light Entertainment. Well, we are going to continue with our Wanda Vision reviews, so we will be reviewing episode 5 of Wanda Vision. So join the conversation and let's talk some Wanda Vision. Okay, well, Natalie, what did you think of this latest episode? Because it has been, as we point out, you guys know we weren't the biggest fans of the first 2 episodes.
We weren't shy about that.
But the last 2 have been a lot more interesting to the both of us. And Natalie, what'd you think about this episode?
I actually really liked this episode.
Yeah, so this episode, starting with the sitcoms that they're going back to, and one, the canned laughter has not gone away. You had mentioned that last time. The canned laughter is there.
It's still very much there.
It's still very much there. So yeah, I still kind of struggle with the sitcom element a little bit, but it's beginning to crack so much that even in
the sitcom, it's getting more interesting.
It's getting more interesting within the sitcom. But let's see. I know they did kind of like growing pains with the kids' pictures, like for the intro that they did. Fuller House, Family Matters.
Just Full House.
Yeah.
Not Fuller House.
That's the Netflix show.
But yeah, when they were out on the picnic, like in the park, I'm like, okay, this is totally like a nod to Full House, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Yeah, which is definitely kind of like breaking, is it the third wall or fourth wall? What's that expression? But it's definitely kind of like doing that, whatever wall you're breaking.
You're breaking some kind of wall.
Is it the fourth wall? I think it is.
It's the 9th wall.
The 10th wall. But with that, because of course her sisters, her twin sisters starring in Full House. So that's always kind of a fun nod with now her as a grown-up.
I guess you'd say her sisters that are twins.
Yeah, her sister that are twins,
Yeah.
yes. No, twin sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I guess if they were triplets, you'd be like her triple.
It's twin sisters.
Her triple sisters.
Twin sisters. That's what they are. But anyways, so yeah, they had different, I guess ones that. Well, I mean, I watched the old ones back in the day with Nick at Night.
I watched a lot of them.
But I grew up with like Growing Pains, Full House, not Fuller House.
Step by Step, I like.
Step by Step, yeah.
Of course, that was more 90s.
Family Matters,
Yeah.
All that
Did
type
I
of thing.
do that?
Well, and someone, I actually didn't even put this together. Someone pointed out, you gotta love Twitter and everyone putting things together. Even her wearing like the suspenders, that was kind of the Steve Urkel call.
Love it.
Like, because
I loved me some Steve Urkel, man.
I did too, because he always had the suspenders. So lots of little neat kind of callbacks to different 80s, really kind of 90s though.
Yeah,
those were 90s.
Maybe
sitcoms.
some of them started in the 80s and
Yeah.
went into the 90s. I remember being very young, like I'm in like
Yes.
kindergarten watching some of this stuff.
Yeah, so
that was obviously when they went into the 90s.
Yeah, so but fun sitcom things. And so they are doing what I wanted them to do of going back and forth and forth between reality and her false reality that she's created. So that helped me out. That was something that I requested and wanted for them to do, and they have done that. So, I mean, anything that you particularly want to say, they're trying to figure out how to get back in, how to communicate. The one guy that's the head of SWORD, he definitely is just like, she's the villain. And you've got Monica Rambeau.
And I'm not so convinced
that
anymore.
I'm not so convinced that he's kind of the jerk.
I mean, yes, Wanda's kind of the villain, obviously, but I don't think she's like... this episode, what was really cool about it to me, it sort of convinced me she's not fully in control of everything, and she may not fully be the one pulling all the strings here.
Well, and that's
that's debatable. Leave your thoughts in the comments, but that was the way I took it.
I think the only thing that she couldn't fully control was the end, and obviously there's spoilers in this review.
She clearly was surprised.
She was surprised with the end and who showed up, but that was the only thing that she's surprised, because she's got people under trances, and when I wasn't expecting her to come out and meet SWORD in this episode, so we actually got full up Wanda, kind of the way we're used to seeing her in her more Avengers outfit, to go out there. But anyways,
she's like, I'm tired of these suspenders.
Something I was going to say, too, is where the director of SWORD is kind of like, oh, she's the villain. Monica Rambeau is like, no, like
Yeah,
she's
I
the
noticed
one.
that she really kind of keeps pulling that back, like almost like defensive of Wanda.
So it does go back to what you're saying of, yes, we do see, because Wanda even puts up like a higher shield when she goes back into it. It's like, this is your one warning, leave now. So she is very much in control to a degree. But I think even the last couple of episodes are all of this. We see there's things that break in that she's not controlling.
Yes.
And is there, some people are wondering, what's her friend's name that comes over all the time?
Agnes.
I know a lot of people think Agnes may be a villain, and I'm starting to think that very well is the case, because she's the only person in this world that like is okay with, like, as in this episode where she's like, do we want to roll that back?
I loved that part.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool, kind of right from the beginning, like just kind of hooked me in and interests me, And do you notice, but Wanda, tell me your thoughts.
That threw her off.
She genuinely seemed surprised by that.
Yes.
Like, it maybe she's like uncomfortable with the fact, like, you're so just like, what's happening and you're so just going with it.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like that.
And it could be that, or is she almost like upset that someone knows that they're in this trance? Yeah, kind of like, I guess that is what you're saying, I guess, in a different way.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
But what I'm trying to say is, does Wanda notice she knows more than she really should, and maybe even questioning, who is this person? I don't know. Because I'm kind of questioning, is the person who we least expect, the kind of comedic relief that's always there, is she maybe more of a sinister person in this thing? Maybe not, but I think there is a chance she could be.
And then just her reaction
to the twins and stuff.
To the twins, but also with Vision, when he's like, you're seriously, you didn't notice how she looked at you, or like during that, he's like, what's going on? And I don't know sometimes if she's really playing dumb, or she's and she is controlling the whole thing, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know sometimes at this point.
Well,
and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or if she is just, being a good actress to him and controlling this.
With that, I think she's being a good actress, because he's dead. And she doesn't want to be like, well, you're dead.
Which was another very fascinating part to me about this episode, was how much he's starting to wake up to the fact, like, something's not right here. Like, let's talk about this. Like, let's not just do business or sitcom as usual. Like, what's going on here?
And I kind of liked, he's like, I'm not a pushover. Like, he was mad in that scene.
He's like, I don't remember who I am before this.
Yes. Because we all know Vision, I mean, he wouldn't be happy with what she's doing. That's not his character at all.
And we find out, which I guess you guys probably already knew, more advanced fans than me, but that was literally like, that was not his wish to ever be brought back.
Well, and they say that in this episode.
Yeah.
That he had to do not resuscitate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I learned in this episode.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it was kind of cool to see. We see Wanda, that she broke into the Swords facility, and that she takes Vision's robot corpse. I'm still a little very confused about, like, is it material? Is it not? I'm very confused by Vision. You guys in the comments, you guys help us out a lot. What is the deal with Vision? I've seen all the Avengers and stuff, but I'm still a little confused by his makeup. Is he truly a man, or is he a robot man? I'm like, is there real flesh? I'm very confused by it. Or does it just look like flesh?
What she's saying is, how does everything work?
I'm just confused by that. So maybe you guys can help me out with that in the comments below. I want to point out, there's something interesting that I thought was that caught my attention. I was about to say, there's something interesting that I thought was interesting.
Smooth.
I caught myself, but then I let you guys know what I was going to say, so
also smooth.
Whatever.
Yeah,
but anyways, Monica Rambeau, they mention, there's a brief mention of Captain Marvel, which of course we first find Monica Rambeau when she's little in the Captain Marvel movie. And I don't know if you noticed, Natalie, because I know you've not seen Captain Marvel, but
I need to watch it.
When Captain Marvel is brought up, she it's kind of like, don't go there. Like, she puts up a wall, like, don't talk about that. And I kind of got the feeling like she's upset with Captain Marvel. And I would say maybe maybe she blames her for her mother dying, maybe. I don't know. You guys kind of let me know if you pick that up and anything you think about that.
The plot thickens.
I just noticed the way she put the wall up, it was like, don't go there, don't want to talk about that. It was kind of the way you would react if, like, it's someone you're upset with and you just don't want to deal with it. That's just kind of what I got, but maybe I'd be curious to see what you guys thought about that, because I know she's set to be in the next Captain Marvel, and I wonder if there's some tension between the two of them, or she's a little bitter or upset with Carol Danvers. So that kind of caught my attention.
I enjoy, just random throwing it out there, I really enjoy the character of Monica Rambeau. She's impressed me. I really enjoy her.
Yeah.
Good acting.
Yes. And
good character.
And I'm sure we'll continue to get, we will, because she's going to be in Captain Marvel, so we're definitely going to keep getting more of her. Anything else? I'm trying to think of anything else. Clearly Vision is, as Natalie said, is beginning to really question things, and him touching that guy and seeing that, oh, well, she's controlling this. And I think the bottom...
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
It was.
And because the guy is clearly... Like, Monica Rambeau apparently described that, and she kind of forgets that she's like, she's controlling me, and it feels terrible.
Yes.
And it's like, you can't help it. It kind of sounds like a bad dream. Like, when I think I've said this before, but obviously I have these dreams a lot, where do you guys ever have those dreams like you're really trying to do something but you just can't?
It's like an anxiety dream.
Yeah, or like getting your frustration out dream, I guess. You're frustrated. And, but it's kind of, I imagine it's almost like that, but like 10 times worse. And so when that guy kind of comes back, he's like, oh gosh, it's terrible. I need to call my family. I need to,
Like, was it someone sick, or he needs to see someone or something like that? And, well, how did Monica describe it? Did she say it's really sad? Like you're really sad or depressed or something like that?
Somehow the way I took it is almost like they're feeling her sadness, maybe. I don't know if that's right at all, but that was just something that kind of dawned on me.
That would be kind of interesting if
like they're connected.
If somehow they're almost stuck in her depression of what's going on. Because clearly Miss Wanda is not dealing with Vision's death very well. And I thought it was interesting at the end when her sons are like, she's like, there are rules, and like, we can't bring him back from the dead. And it's like, but that's kind of hypocritical.
But did she bring him back from the dead?
That's, I get
was the point of that scene to show that she did not?
Yeah. Like, well, because we see his corpse.
Yeah.
So is he really a corpse? I'm very... I feel like you're supposed to be a little confused with this show. That's kind of the point of it. But it's like,
they're gonna answer it. It just, it takes time.
Yeah, they will. But yeah, so this was definitely kind of an interesting episode, and I don't think Vision's gonna let it go.
No, he's kind of woken up now.
Yeah, and he says to her, at the end, she's like, do you not trust me? And he's like, well, you make it kind of hard to. So I think his trust is so shaken by her that he's not really going to trust her at this point again, fully.
And also something between the two of them, I think by the end of this episode, you see happening is, so if she did in fact create this world for them so they could be together, it's kind of like she's starting to lose the thing, being Vision, that she created this whole thing for, because their relationship's starting to be very strained because of all this.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we'll kind of see where that goes as we move forward. And yeah, it ends in divorce, sadly.
And that's it.
but
he takes one to when she takes.
We will see where that goes. But kind of the big thing at the end, that kind of had me like, okay. Someone shows up her door, and again, she clearly did not control this.
No.
And you see that from both perspectives, from Darcy watching and her perspective. And that it's the guy who played Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men movies, and he shows up as Pedro, her brother. And they say a recasted Pedro, like they even say that, but it's like, surely he has to actually be Quicksilver, because surely Disney wouldn't hire the guy who just played Quicksilver in the X-Men to come play Pedro in this when they have very similar abilities. Because Pedro and Quicksilver, they both can move like the Flash, like at the speed of light. Which that makes me think was, because her brother is dead, we know that. is
Got a lot of dead people in her life.
there are. It's kind of like The Walking Dead in there, but anyways, like, is this has the MCU brought Quicksilver over into their world now? And did they use him because he's fast enough to maybe somehow get into that force field somehow because they can move so quickly? I don't know. So again, that's one of those things. What is you guys' theory on that? Is that actually Quicksilver who's just claiming to be Pedro? Like, what's kind of the deal with that? Because it's definitely the same actor who played Quicksilver. So
But like you said, everybody's surprised by this. The
Yes.
head of S.W.O.R.D. is surprised by this. Wanda's surprised by this. So it'll just be interesting to see how this unfolds.
And if it is Quicksilver, Quicksilver had moments in the X-Men movies that genuinely would make me laugh out loud when they would show him moving so fast and just kind of the things he would do when he was doing that. So that would be fun if that is indeed it truly is Quicksilver now in the MCU. That would be a lot of fun. So
Disclaimer.
She's never seen the X-Men movies.
I've never seen the X-Men movies.
I really enjoy the first two. I actually haven't seen the last two of those Fox X-Men movies. But Quicksilver was fun in that second one. So we'll see. But yeah, let us know you guys' theory about what's going on. Is what's her name? The why do I keep forgetting her name?
Agnes. Well, it's not a super common name.
No, it's not today. Is Agnes the main villain? Kind of what do you guys think's going to happen next?
Is she pulling some of the strings?
Yes. And is that Quicksilver? Like, is he just Quicksilver who's now telling her, no, I'm Pedro? Like, what's the deal with that ending? You guys let us know in the comments what you guys think. But that is it for this review or kind of review/discussion, spoiler discussion of Wanda Vision episode 5. We will be back next week to cover episode 6. But things are getting crazy in there, so let's
give this episode a rating. What do you say?
So how many hoots are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 4.5 hoots.
Okay, I'm going to give it 4 hoots. It needs to wow me a little more to get my 5 hoots.
I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said,
it got me. It got me hooked.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on that's interesting, which, as we said in the first one, we left room for that to happen.
Yeah.
So I like that things are cracking a little more. So
we don't slam doors.
No. So we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, that is it for this episode of Force of Entertainment. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way, every time we upload a video, you get a notification for it. Just like that.
It's free.
It's like Quicksilver speed. It comes at you. And leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this video and what you think of WandaVision. Maybe answer some of our questions for us. That would be nice. And give the video a thumbs up. But that is it.
2 thumbs up.
Yes, that is it for this episode. We will be back with more WandaVision next week. And remember to be a force of light. All right, see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.